looking at the Reading 25 review questions. This is questions about the Universal Declaration of Rights of Man, which is basically the manifesto of the French Revolution, at least in its first phase. Number one, according to Article 4, what is liberty? Do you agree with this conception? Why or why not? Well, liberty is the, what did you say? Consists in the freedom to do everything which injures no one else. Hence, the exercise of the natural rights of each man has no limits except those which assure to the other members of the society the enjoyment of the same rights. Liberty means being able to do whatever the heck you want, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, as long as it doesn't infringe on, meaning as long as it doesn't infringe on any of their rights, which is really remarkable and a very, very powerful idea, I think, in modern society. That is that to be truly free means to do whatever you want. Whatever you decide, and that the only thing that should limit that freedom is if doing what you decide you want to do infringes on somebody else's freedom. It's just such a powerful, important idea. If it's true, that's why I asked you why it's a good thing, but it's an incredibly important idea. Number two, do you agree with Article 5 on the limit on what the law can prohibit? Well, Article 5 says law can only prohibit such actions as are hurtful to society, which may seem obvious in a certain way, but it was a very important idea. For instance, let's talk about like gay rights. Homosexuality was for a long time in this country and other countries, still is by some countries, against the law, if you can believe it. Nobody could really argue that it was harming anybody, right? I mean, people having sex with each other who consensually or attracted to each other, and no one could really argue. But it was still thought to be, evil or bad or somehow, not something that should be done. But no one could really argue that it was harmful to society or hurtful to society. Those arguments are just pathetically weak, right? So the notion that only things that are harmful or hurtful to society should be forbidden by law is a pretty, amazing idea, because that was not always the way that people thought. So yeah, it's pretty important. It's pretty amazing. What do you think Article 10 is saying? Put the thought there in your own words. Article 10, no one shall be disquieted on account of his opinions, including his religious views, provided their manifestation does not disturb the public order established by law. It's pretty ambiguous. It's about the right, it's about freedom of thought and freedom of religion. There's no question about it. And people should have it. People should be able to have whatever religion or not religion they want. And people should be able to think whatever they want. And the only way you should interfere with that, or the only way that you can rightfully interfere with that, is if somehow or another the manifestation of these things disturbs the public order. Now that, I don't know. That's a real question. If I have an idea or an opinion that disturbs people, I still should be able to hold it. So disturbing the public order, I don't know. It's a very ambiguous one. It's a troubling one. I don't know what exactly to say. Do you agree with what is said about property in Article 17? Why or why not? Well, the reason I focused on that is because in Article 17 it says property is an inviolable and sacred right. That's what I was really asking about. Do you believe that? Do you believe that having property, owning property, is an inviolable and sacred right? I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty strong idea in liberal tradition, liberal politics, that it is, but certainly others, socialists, others, communists, anarchists, maybe would think otherwise, and would have reason to think otherwise.